what's up everybody? My name is Rudy Jalapeno and welcome to 5 Minutes or Less. Today we're going to be talking about War for the Planet of the Apes. Apes don't want war! Have to confess, I'm somebody who grew up watching a lot of the original Planet of the Apes movies that came out in the 60s and 70s. I would watch them like on cable television and stuff when they come out at night, and I just grew up loving the film series. So a few years back, whenever Rise of the Planet of the Apes came out, I was kind of skeptical because I didn't know how they kind of, bring that idea to the current culture and everything. But I was pleasantly surprised with Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out, and I absolutely fell in love with that movie. That was great. And I'm happy to say that War of the Planet of the Apes does not disappoint. So first off, I do want to say that if you've seen any of the trailers, if you've seen any of the posters, any of the marketing material, this movie looks to be like a regular garden variety war film. It is not your traditional war film. This is a character piece, and a lot of the wars that go on in this movie, you can tell are very much internal for a lot of the characters. So this movie's a little bit of a slow burn. I know for me, myself, I went in expecting a lot of action, a lot of gunfights, a lot of tanks and things blowing up. I wanted to see an ape drive a tank, I'm not gonna lie. But this movie doesn't have a lot of stuff like that, and that's okay because the movie is still very, very satisfying, but just going in, taper your expectations a little bit. Don't expect to see Saving Private Ryan with monkeys. So this movie picks up 5 years after Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and it starts with a very militant colonel targeting Caesar. So speaking of characters, let's go into our main guy, Caesar. Now, if you watched any of the past two films, you've really grown accustomed to Caesar. He has an inner conflict. He loves the humans. He grew up with the humans, but at the same time, he's seen the damage that they can do. So he has this internal conflict over whether to be for apes or for humans, and that is really drawn out in this movie, and it comes to a very, very fitting conclusion. Caesar's motivation in this movie is handled in an immensely satisfying way. You really understand why and how things would escalate to the point that they have and the decisions that he needs to make. Caesar's character arc is brought full circle as he's pushed to his absolute breaking point. Now, getting to the second banana, pun intended, Woody Harrelson acts as the colonel in this film. His character is very deep, very rich, and very layered. He gives this monologue during the film that's very emotional and very essential to the plot. Woody Harrelson gives a very engaging and an emotional standout performance in War for the Planet of the Apes. And during it, I hung off of every single word he was saying. He's a brilliant actor, and he really shines in this role. Amaya Miller is another character in the film. Now, she plays the little girl Nova, and she expresses so much with saying very little. Another character that you're probably going to love is played by Steve Zahn, a character named Bad Ape. The character of Bad Ape provides some much-needed comic relief in a movie that can otherwise get very intense. As usual, the special effects in this movie are next to brilliant. You sometimes wonder if you're actually watching a movie with real apes. Now, even just looking in the eyes of Caesar, and sometimes you see tears coming down his face, it's a brilliant job in the special effects category, and I challenge anybody to find any flaws in this film visually. The score is also done by the amazing Michael Giacchino, and a lot of the selections that he has are reminiscent of the old films. So for someone like me who remembers watching the old movies and hearing a lot of the percussive instruments in those films, it really brought me back to the feeling that I had watching those, and I absolutely loved it. So just to wrap up my review here, going into the movie, I had different expectations, but the film itself overall is very compelling and very moving, and it's a brilliant end to a trilogy that I would put up there, right up there with Lord of the Rings, The Godfather, and even the Dark Knight trilogy. So again, I love the movie. Personally, I'm going to give the film 4 out of 5 stars. Again, I went into it having a different type of expectation. I do want to see the film again with my tailored expectations now and see if maybe I would give it a higher score, but just right off the bat, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. So that's my review. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and I will see you later.